Hey guys, Mike the Vike here, back for yet another Rust update video. This week we had a lot of changes, which is awesome. Firstly, they added the Beretta M92 to the game. It's a semi-auto pistol. It has a 15 round mag capacity, supposedly does 15% more damage than the semi-auto pistol, and overall is pretty OP right now. You can see that you can get pretty crazy rate of fire if you spam the trigger enough. And of course you can put on all the usual attachments, which is ridiculous. I don't think the pistols honestly should be allowed to put a 4x scope on them. Just seems kind of stupid. While the gun is definitely nice, I think it needs a nerf on the distance side of things. It's too easy to hit people from far away with this thing, and it kind of removes a reason to have a rifle. But for close quarters, it's fine. No need to nerf any damage or anything. Just the distance, you know. Like, I just don't think that's reasonable that you're able to hit someone like that so consistently. Overall, though, a really nice pistol. Finally, it's nice to see that they added like a high-end pistol, because I've been wanting one for a while. Now, unfortunately, this item is not craftable. You have to find it out of loot crates or airdrops. The MP5 is still craftable because there are skins available for this game, so how would you be able to apply skins to dropped weapons? So they haven't figured that out yet. I don't know how I think about this. I think that they should probably just be craftable, but I'm not sure. I just preferred it that way. Salvage tools, unfortunately, got a lot more expensive now. They require triple the amount of blades to craft. Probably not a terrible idea because it was pretty easy to make them. And apparently there was a bit of an exploit going on with these things so you could repair them very cheaply. I don't think they've fixed that, so that's probably why they're more expensive now. These spears got a nerf and buff in kind of separate ways. So they do a lot more melee damage, about 20%. However, the throwing damage got nerfed by about 20% as well. I had no idea that the throw damage is more than the stab damage. I'm not even sure how I feel about that, because I've seen people do some crazy stuff with these things. I'm not complaining personally, I think that's fine. I thought these things were a little bit too easy anyway, because if you just had like 6 of these or whatever ready to go, it was just a little bit too easy. But they also increased the attack radius, which means that it's easier to hit people. Overall, I think that they're trying to make the spears a little bit more for melee instead of throwing. But with that said, throwing is still effective, so you don't have to worry. They also reduced the costs for several building parts, such as the floor grill, the prison gate, the chain link fences, shop front, all these kind of like the roleplay stuff. They made it a lot cheaper, even the embrasures, which are kind of useful. I think this is fine because no one was really using them, so they probably realized that, you know, they cost a little bit too much. So yeah, the cost for those have been reduced by either half or even quartered, so you should be seeing a lot more of those. They finally changed how code locks work in the game. Previously, when you went to unlock, let's say, like 50,000 code locks in your friend's base, you had to unlock them and then relock them, so it got kind of tedious. Now when you unlock the door, as soon as I enter this code, it's gonna stay locked, which is awesome, and now you can open and close it. Previously, it would kind of go like this, and then you'd enter the code, and then you'd have to relock it, which was kind of an unnecessary step. So this is going to be great if you're in those big bases. Unlocking codes is going to be a little less annoying. The natural caves finally got added into the game. Only took a couple months. These are just going to be another interesting place for Rust players to explore. Also, more than likely, just a good place to hide. In case you don't remember, there are 3 sizes to the caves: small, medium, large. And, of course, there's quite a few different variants. So eventually you'll be able to learn the layout for these things, but as a new player, these are going to be kind of complicated to traverse. There's a little bit of parkour elements to some of these ones, which is kind of neat. And if you go deep enough into the caves, you'll be able to actually build in certain areas. I'm not sure how useful this is going to be, honestly, because you can't really build that big of a base. I guess the main advantage to this is that you're so completely isolated. Although the base is actually fairly small, there's only 2 entrances into this cave. This one here, and then there's another one on this side which they've kind of blocked off, or actually no, they have a TC in here. So it's actually going to be quite easy to defend because all you have to do is like hold down this area. It would be smart to maybe put down a sentry turret just aiming down this corridor, and then it's going to be a really bad time trying to raid this thing. But once they do get in here, it should be a fairly easy raid because this is a pretty small base. Overall though, it is cool to see stuff like this. I think that caves still need to be a little bit more worth going to, like maybe some more loot down here, rarer loot, maybe further down the road a particular type of resource that you can only get down here, just something else so that people have a reason to explore. Oh, and of course, there are still these little elevator things which look really cool. To be honest, I would love if they made these things craftable or something like that so that you could put these in your regular bases. I think that would be so awesome. But I mean, they do the job. It just takes you nicely up. There is no sound for when this thing's running, like going up. Too bad, because I think it'd be nice if we could hear this thing working. But yeah, I mean, it looks pretty cool. It's just that I wish these things were elsewhere in the map. Next up, they removed foundation stacking from the game. I'm not too familiar with what this actually was, because I never really saw it myself. I assumed that they were talking about double walling, which unfortunately appears to still be in the game. I honestly really hope that they remove this soon because it's just ridiculous in my opinion. It's kind of unacceptable actually. I don't know why they haven't fixed something like this sooner because it's actually really an exploit. You're not supposed to be able to do this. It's just that it's a glitch that people are like, oh well, we can get more walls down in the same surface area. Hopefully they patch this soon because as nice as foundation stacking is, I've never heard of it before. They also added view models for explosives, such as the satchel charge and the survey charge. I think this is really cool, because it was always a little bit funny seeing some guy running around with nothing in his hands. You can see this in third person as well, which is great. Here's a look at the throwing animation. It looks a little bit funny when you throw it. I think some of the animation needs to be worked out a little bit. Here's the satchel charge, and here's the survey charge. That's all they've added this week into the actual game, but there's a whole bunch of other prop art and stuff that they've added. It looks like they are making a lot of progress on the Harbour. You can see that they've got a forklift and a whole bunch of other like gas tank stuff, industrial related, things. We're also going to be getting some clothing world models so that when you drop them on the floor, you'll actually see the t-shirt and stuff. That's not in the game yet though. That's it for this week's Rust update. Overall, pretty good week. We got some nice changes. This was, of course, recorded on my Rust server. I've been doing the Rust solo series on here last week, and I hope to do it again this week. It's a 2x modded server with TP kits and a whole bunch of other little things. If you want to join, there is info on how to do so in the description. That's all I got for this week, guys. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. I've got lots more on the way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.